Hello.
I'm here. Are you there?
Oh, there. It's working. I think.
Yeah. You're frozen. I'm frozen.
It was kind of choppy there.
Yeah, there we go. There
Seems
we
to
are.
smooth now.
Yeah, now we're smooth. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales, probably buffering here in San Antonio. There is
I'm Dave Danius. I'm in Newport News, Virginia.
Dave and I have
Yes.
the distinct pleasure. Why don't you show people your box? We're going
My
to dissect and take apart no, ArteNOM 1146. Now,
46.
Dave got a box. You have a confession though. You have a confession to make about the box.
I did get this box several years ago with a bottle of 1146, and
Ah,
I had drank that all gone a year or two ago. So I kept the box because,
well, of course. Who doesn't keep the
of
box?
course.
Yeah, I have a box of Fuente Seca, and for those of you who know ArteNOM Selection, ArteNOM, and this one's 1146. This is from the distillery Taberna Tequileña. Um, this is where I think Dave, you mentioned what brands come out of that distillery?
What brands come out of 1146? Cimarron, Don Fluano, Fonteseca, T1 Uno, Tears of Lorona.
Yeah,
That's just to name a couple.
yeah.
But that was
So
some of the best ones I thought were like,
yeah. Don't Fulano. Fuente Seca. See now, Fuente Seca. I have a box of, and
yeah.
for those of you who are unfamiliar with this line, every one of these lines is they're not just distilleries, but they also own their own agave, so they're proprietary. Everything about these brands is
And
proprietary.
a master distiller is at each one of them too. They're
Yes,
a different master
master distillery.
distiller.
This one is signed right here. Uh, and who is this master distiller? You know all the names.
Enrique Fonseca.
Enrique Fonseca, the masterful Enrique Fonseca.
Yep.
Uh, so each of these, and even on the back of the label, you'll see it'll tell you what the elevation is and
Mhm.
where the agave
Where
comes
it's
from,
at. Yep.
map, and it's really, go ahead and read the notes on how this is finished
How
because
it's finished. Okay, let me take a deep breath here.
yeah, because this is there's a lot of work that goes into this brand.
Yep. Halved and quartered agave steam roasted without pressure in a steel oven. So it's autoclave, low pressure. 30-hour roast, including 6 pre-roast to melt off bitters and a 6-hour cool down. Juice extraction with proprietary screw press method. Fermented in stainless steel vats using Mendoza wine yeast strains.
Wow.
Double distilled copper pot stills, approximately 53 ABV, and then reduced with reverse osmosis demineralized water. And then when it gets to the barrels,
Yeah.
we
So
got
now what happened?
we got 60% in a 2-year Lower Valley French oak blended with a 40% 3-year Lower Valley French oak, and then moved to aged 1 additional year in American white oak that was formerly used for bourbon, whiskey, or Tennessee rye.
Holy
It's
cow.
bottled at 40%. So yes.
Jeez. Now, to be fair, off camera, off camera, Dave had just broken the seal on his bottle. I have been hoarding this bottle for at least 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
What had happened was we had done the entire line except for this one as far as sipping off the cuff. So for some reason,
Three
uh,
others.
yeah, there are three others. For some reason, we never, there's always two tasters involved. So our one of the other tasters never received the bottle. So we got a hold of Jake Lustig, who is the
Yep.
owner of the Las Joyas de Agave, the importer,
Right.
and we said, hey. let's finish off the line. So 2 years or 3 years later, the first three are all brands of promise. But now we're going to taste and dissect this one that I've been hoarding for a long time. And Dave poured some. I think you already poured some off camera, or did
Yep.
you? Or
Just a little.
you still have it?
I still have it.
Okay. Do you have it?
Have it.
No.
Now, on that bottle that I had before, I wasn't too sure about it when I first got it. It was either after I drank half a bottle over 2 or 3 years, it actually tasted better to me, or my palate got better, which I'm thinking it's probably my palate got better.
Yeah. Well, you got serious.
I got serious. Yep. That's a lovely amber color, though.
Yeah, and it looks darker on on yours, and the thing, like I said, my bottle's about a couple of years old, and it's a synthetic cork, so it's not there's no corkage in there or anything. There's no fear in having a cork leach into it. But yours,
Synthetic cork.
yeah, yours looks a little bit darker, and the nose,
Legs and tears. Yeah.
yeah, the legs and tears are beautiful.
Yeah.
The nose is amazing because it does smell, and I told this to Dave earlier. It smells like some of the extra añejos that we've had before, and in your case, it even looks like
dark as some of them. Yeah. It's
yeah.
like, oh, this is a wonderful nose.
Yeah, it's very different because I think the blending of the barrels,
Right.
and it's not charred, it's toasted, correct? The barrels
Toasted. Yes.
So you're still trying. You're only imparting what's first the Loire Valley, which I think they're wine barrels.
Yeah.
And
Cab Franc barrels.
Cab Franc barrels, and so you wind up with a really interesting aroma. That's kind of the combination of the barrels gives it a whole different aroma.
Yeah, and we're not picking up any of the wine really, or the whiskey. None of that.
Yeah, it's really a whole different animal.
You can get a little of the agave down in there still.
Well, that's the beauty of all these lines. The lines were designed to, whether it's a reposado or an añejo, or even the blancos, they were designed to promote the agave. Okay, and these guys, all these gentlemen who were master distillers, they're just really very, very proud of their plants.
Right.
So, they're going to make sure that the character of the plant still comes through, which is, if you think that Felipe Camarena is crazy, all these guys are just mad geniuses,
Yeah, Felipe is one of the master distillers on, I don't know which one of the Blanco ones.
Yeah, and this is just beautiful. I wouldn't even. I'd be hard pressed to try to match this with a cigar because I think the nose is so pretty.
Yeah, it is a wonderful nose.
Wow. I can't really even describe it to you because I want to say it's a little bit of the grape. It doesn't smell like dried fruit. It smells almost like a fresh fruit, kind of like a how was it that Eric Zandona said something like it was like a preserve,
right?
So it's kind of like half dried, half not, like a jelly. It's really unusual.
Really
so
condensed
like
fruit.
Preserved fruit, like canned fruit.
Mm.
I mean freshly canned, not like canned peaches or anything.
There's a little caramel on there too.
Yeah,
of course, from the wood.
Okay, now we got to dive in. Now we got to taste it.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Nice warmth. Little of the peppery bite that you expect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Little of the wood. Medium long.
There's even just a hint of mint, just at the very beginning.
Right.
Then it just disappears. It just kind of blends in with everything else. and there is a dryness to it too. Um, and
That's probably wood tannins or grape tannins.
yeah, the grape tannins, the residual, whatever, because it does have a really good medium to long finish. I
Yeah,
mean,
warm and
it's
fuzzy.
a dry finish. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow, and those legs and tears, all of this is natural, so it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at. And like I say, let me read some of the information on the back of the label that I've got, because as I said to Dave, his bottle looks a lot darker than mine. But here's why. Las Joyas del Agave introduces connoisseurs to a discrete selection of Jalisco's finest distilleries. No two ArteNOM selecciones will ever be the same, as each represents qualities that celebrate region of origin and unique distillation technique. We invite you to learn more about tequila terroir and the provenance of our selecciones at our website. And so it figures that you're not going to, each bottle is going to be slightly different, even though it's coming from the same distillery.
Yes.
And I got to say,
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I don't know about you, but
I'm fine with it.
So yeah, now just this is almost a formality. We're going to have to nominate this as a Brand of Promise nominee. Dave has his coaster says mine.
Mine.
I have a coaster with an ice cream paddle on it.
I don't even got the coaster.
I'm going to have to come up with new coasters. So maybe in 2021 we'll come up with some coasters, some new coasters with the new logo on it. What a beautiful, beautiful spirit! And for those of you who are watching this and have had the other iterations of ArteNOM, it's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
It's all good.
It's all good. You can pick any number, any number.
Yes, these guys know what they're doing, so and it shows.
Yeah, again, thanks to Jake Lustig for making that happen and getting a bottle to Dave, because, like I said, I've been hoarding this thing for a couple of years now, and waiting for one of us to get a bottle, and finally, for those of you who are getting our magazine, you saw that Selección ArteNOM is on the cover of the August issue. We're filming this in August, so they're on the cover. So there are cover boys as well, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've also been on a couple of our Wild West tours. Speaking of tours, show everybody your T-shirt. Mammoth, the Mammoth. Today, we're filming this on Saturday. Today would have been the Mammoth Margarita Festival.
It would have.
But
due to COVID complications, blah blah blah,
blah blah blah, it's been canceled. All the favorite tequila shows and spirits shows this year have been canceled. That's nothing new. I mean, everything from Comic-Con to WSWA, all kinds of things have been canceled.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, we're barely watching baseball, which is really weird in empty stadiums.
The hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on, and it's like nobody's there.
Yeah, basketball too, So, but see, this is nothing new for us. We always long distance drink with each other. We've been doing it for 20 years, right?
We're still on the air. We're still here.
We're still doing it, and all I can say is, if you have not tried this, like I say, I would be hard pressed to mix and match this with a cigar. I think this is really a nightcap tequila for me. That's
pricing. That brings up pricing. Total Wine, I think it's available a bottle in New Mexico maybe for $79.
Yeah, and you know what? It's worth every penny. I'm telling you, this is craft. When you talk about craft, this is what we mean.
Old Town Tequila has it for $68. That's a bargain.
That's a bargain. And I would get all you possibly can. You cannot go wrong with any of the iterations, any of these distilleries. I believe one of our other favorites, NOM 1414, has the Reposado, which is one of my favorites. I love 1414 because of the Mozart method, and they use their own proprietary. I think they use like champagne yeast. It's just, any one of these, depending on if you find yourself loving blancos or you like reposados, these guys make it the old-fashioned way. And this one in particular, the work that goes into this añejo, this 1146,
just with the barrels, yes. If you're a fan of Felipe's, his was $15.79, the Blanco. So,
yeah. Geez, what can we say? Again, brand of now. So this is a brand of promise nominee, but it's going to have its own category, folks, because you just can't. You really can't pigeonhole this thing. It's that good.
Legacy.
Yeah, I think it's going to go in a legacy category because it just has to. It's been. What's interesting is that each of the families that these represent are already legacy tequila makers. So, it's got that class by itself, and that's what these were designed for. So congratulations to Jake. This is just beautiful stuff. Get yourself a bottle wherever you are.
Yep.
But anyway, that's our take on Selección ArteNOM 1146.
1146.
That is amazing stuff.
And look for the box.
Look for the box. If you can get the box, then you and Dave are in the same league. But anyway, that's our take on ArteNOM 1146. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Dave Dinius in Newport News, Virginia.
You have been listening and watching to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. Wherever you're listening to us on the podcast, like Spotify, go ahead or iTunes actually, and also YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we upload a video, which happens to be just about every other day. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.